Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining us in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I am your gracious host, J Red, joined by the most honorable, legendary PM of all DJs, the DJ PM. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good, my podcast partner, man. We've been doing numbers, we've been getting good debates,
Yes,
comments,
sir.
all that stuff. We've been at it every week. Consistency. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Hey, you see, we made Shannon Sharp and Skip gone by out.
Yeah, they bowed out, man. They just like, man, we can't take it no more. Shannon was crying and stuff too. He was like, man, I can't handle it, So yeah, man. We've been doing our thing, man. With this, everybody, thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes, all the comments, especially from some of the other solo videos that I made. Thank you, everybody on Instagram, for those good debates that we do have, from the UGK stuff to the is Ti the best rapper from Atlanta stuff, just everything. So we appreciate all the feedback. Everybody that's on Facebook that joins in on the discussions and the conversations. Make sure that you hit that share button if you want this show to grow. Spread the word. Y'all know that we have a great show. We are a deadly combination. No podcast wants to see us on that, but invite us on your show. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna stay consistent with it and we're gonna get right into it. Before I begin that, though, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you do something very important and subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView.
Definitely.
Subs are very important. All right. So PM, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Is hip hop dead? Is hip hop dead in 2023? Now I know that it's a bit drastic, right?
Right.
But there's a good point in reasoning as to why I'm asking that. And I said in 2023.
Right.
Now, a recent report came out, and I saw it from Complex, but they said that hip hop, no rap songs or rap albums throughout this whole year so far, and we're halfway through the year, have reached number one.
I saw that.
None of them. Now, this topic came up a couple of, I think it was either last week or the week before. I know Charlamagne talked about it, but I forgot to bring it up on the show because there's been just so much content that we had to cover. But yeah, so that led to, a lot of discussion about where we are in hip hop right now. What is the reasoning behind it? Who killed it? If it is dead, or is it trash, whatever. Now, this is what I'll say. PM, I don't think that hip hop is dead.
Right.
Is it the way that it used to be? Absolutely not. Will it ever get to the way it used to be? I don't know. That's up in the smoke. But I will say this. I think hip hop as a whole, I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about because you got people who are underground that are very talented, independent who are very talented, but I'm mixing the whole pot of gumbo. If you were to present just the average person who doesn't listen to hip hop, this is hip hop. Is that trash? Is hip hop trash right now? Yes. I don't think hip hop is dead. I do feel like hip hop as a whole is trash.
Okay.
The reason I feel that way is because if you look at, like I said, the forefront, the first thing people are going to think about is the mainstream, right? They're not going to dig into the crates and spend time looking on Spotify, spend time looking on Tidal and trying to discover a J Red who makes good music, a Currency, you know what I'm saying, a Slim Pusher who makes good music. They're going to be looking at, okay, this is Spotify's playlist, top artists of 2023. This is Apple Music's playlist. Shout out to Ice Spice. She is the most streamed the most streamed artist on Spotify right now. So yeah. So anyway, you got Ice Spice as the representation of hip hop. So and I don't think Ice Spice is trash. I don't think she is per se, but I do think that she's an industry plant. And
you don't think her music is trash?
I like the one with Nicki. I do like that record. But not all of it. I don't like everything. Like Munch, that was you could only listen to that for like 10 seconds. It's a TikTok song. But I do feel like right now, and the culture is trash. And when I say that, I'm talking about the content in music that's at the forefront. Like, I like the sound of drill rap. I don't like the content in drill rap.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like everything right now, we need a reset. And I've been saying that. It's not just about the sound. It's also about the content, the representation. from the men and women, because right now it's stripper slut talk with women. Not all of it, you know, because you got some exceptions. Just like everything is not trap rap, everything is not drug rap, everything is not gang, right? But it's exceptions. But the thing I have a problem with too is that I look at artists like J. Cole. Has J. Cole been putting out anything great recently? No, he has not. Not the last few years.
He put out a feature or two.
A feature or two, yeah. He's been doing that, but we were at a point when we were growing up. Fabulous, Jay-Z, Nas, Freeway, Beanie Siegel, just all Jadakiss and Ludacris, T.I. We had so.
I was about to say you naming a lot of northern rappers.
I was northern, but then let's go to the south. We had Outkast. We had Scarface was on Def Jam doing it.
Even Trick Daddy.
But we had so much from the Midwest. We had Nelly, we had M, we had the Saint Lunatics, we had Chingy. On the West Coast, you had Game. Snoop was still putting out bangers. E40 was putting out bangers, signing with Lil Jon. Lil Jon was collabing with OGs and making hits out of that. Ice Cube was still putting out stuff. So I say all that to say we're at a standstill when it comes to the sound and the content of rap. I told you, I feel like when Pop Smoke passed away, when he got murdered, when his life got taken, that was our ticket to move on to the next level. Now, the drill music did become popular, but I feel like he had a certain type of swag to where when I listened to his album, all of it didn't sound the same. Like it was, he reminded me of a new age 50 Cent. So I feel like he was our last quote unquote star, mega star, to be able to push the culture forward. Just like you have a DMX that comes out, you have a Nelly that comes out, you have somebody new. So I feel like just right now, man, we're at a standstill. Drake is still putting out music that's good, but it's not, it's stale though. It's good for Drake and good for the culture, but it's not mind-blowing as it was when Drake had just came out. It was refreshing to hear. So I think that hip-hop is trash right now.
Is hip-hop dead? I just can't say a genre that I love is dead. I would say a lot of the music that's coming out right now is whack, especially, and this ain't no disrespect to the ladies, but especially the music that women are putting out these days. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you noticed or not, Jay, but women run rap right now.
They do.
If you name the 5 biggest artists or songs out, all of them are gonna be by women.
That's true.
I'm just calling a spade a spade. And shout out to the women. I love the women. I'm so happy for them. I just wish all of their content wasn't about how wet their vagina is and what color their booty hole is and how deep their throat is.
They don't sell records though. They don't.
No, they don't.
They don't sell records at all. The music charts like a mug, right?
Yeah.
But they don't sell. The males still dominate when it comes to the sales.
Record sales isn't even a thing at this point. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think labels care about record sales anymore. They care about streams, because for every $100,000 you make as an artist signed to a label, that label might make 10 million. So, like, you know what I'm saying? When you account for streams, you know how hard it is for artists to make $1 million off streams, a signed artist.
It's hard for a label to make money off streams.
Exactly. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't think, I mean, like, if you look at, I think that's part of the reason why hip hop seems like it's dead is because we got all these fly by night artists, because you got all these people running the industry who don't give a damn about hip hop. So what they do is they go to Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Memphis, Tennessee, Shreveport, Louisiana, Slidell, Louisiana, and they find an artist that already got a buzz, already got a following, and then they give them $1 million, let them become hot for a summer, and then they throw them away.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's no longevity and there's no growth, so you don't get to see the artist grow. That's why every song seems like it's talking about the same thing, because we're not getting a chance to see the artist grow. In the last 5 years, outside of Lil Baby, I'm trying to think of anybody else. What artists have you gotten to see their growth? Maybe Da Baby, but we know what happened with him.
Stale.
Yeah.
He got stale. Now, I ain't gonna lie. He did have a new sound. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he had a new sound 6 years ago.
You right, yeah, because that was before pandemic.
Bro, yeah, it was. Hey, did you see him freestyling over Jay-Z?
PSA. I was gonna ask you what you thought about that. What did you think about that?
That shit was awful, bro. I appreciate. It don't matter what the beat is. The baby gonna rap the same though.
What I'll say is, I at least appreciate him for doing him. That's the only thing I could give him credit for.
You got to do something else, bro. That's old at this point, bro.
It's true. I mean, true. It is. That is true.
He teeter-totting that Nicki Minaj Ludacris line.
He already been there. If you talking about that, it's just he already been there.
But yeah, I just can't say hip hop is dead though. When Killer Mike dropping Michael, Conway the Machine just dropped a very dope album. And you know what I'm saying? And then it's just a lot of, like you said, a lot of underground artists that a lot of people don't know. I can't say hip hop is dead, but on the mainstream, it's pretty bad right now.
It's trash on the mainstream. Bro,
it's pretty bad.
Dog, I say, bro, when you say pretty bad, what's pretty bad? How is that different from trash? Like a lot of this stuff, even when I like Pound Town, how is Pound? And I get why, but Pound Town is a hit single.
It's a single.
She was, I think she admitted she was playing around, but
of course she was.
So big,
listen to the words.
That's what I'm saying. So you listen to these records, and they're not records that can be taken serious. Like we know they're trendy, and I think this is another reason. Right now, everybody wants to go viral. That's what Charlamagne pointed out. Going viral is a gift and a curse because what happens 9 times out of 10 when you go viral? You only hot for those couple of moments.
Right.
And then eventually you're going to have to put out a project. If you don't put out a project, you need to continuously have hit singles like Rich Homie Quan did.
It's the Trinidad James effect, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember Trinidad James came out? He wrote I'll go to everything that it was crazy, it was out of here. And then he just couldn't follow it up with nothing. Even though he put out some other stuff, it just never was as good as I'll go everything. And so I feel like now, ever since Trinidad James, labels have been signing that same thing. Who's hot right now? Who's ready to go right now?
Because the thing is, since it's no artist development and the streams have taken over and it's not a lot of money, you probably want to go ahead and get your money to cash out while you can.
Absolutely.
Throw them to the wolves. And a lot of artists are thinking, okay, I want to make money now instead of, which I'm not blaming them for trying to get their hustle on. But it's a lot of Master P's because Master P thought, I want to make money off of this.
Right.
It's really not about how talented I am. It's about
putting out work.
Putting out, the work ethic. But this ain't even work ethic no more. This is about, I'm going to throw something out here. Hopefully it goes viral because TikTok, it's a little easier to go viral more than ever because of the algorithm.
And if it don't, I'm going to just put something else out right quick.
Right. And hopefully it does that. But I see the problem happening with Glorilla, right? Glorilla had some banging singles.
Yeah.
And then it gets
I disagree, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it gets to a point where you get stale. She put out an EP. Nobody, that's why I said females don't sell records. They don't sell those projects. So she's probably thinking like, okay, just keep pushing out singles. But the thing is, you're going to wear yourself out because now you're focused on making a hit. Right. Like that song she just came out with that samples three. How many people sampled that song?
Last week.
Yeah, slob on my knot, bro. It's the same as Cardi and who was that? G-Eazy. Yeah. That sound like the same record, bro.
I mean, same person made the beat.
How many times are they gonna sample "Slob on My Knob," bro?
Right.
That time has passed. Like, quit sampling that record. It was a hit. Cardi and them made it another hit, but now it's time to leave that shit alone, man. So, and then another thing, PM, the sampling is very lazy. Now, I get why they're sampling, right? I got Sirius XM in my whip, right?
Yeah.
And every now and then
You rich.
Nah, yeah, right. I ain't richer like you. I need to get like you. I need to get PM money. But anyway, So I got that Sirius XM. And a couple of stations, I try to tap in with like the youth and what's hot. Man, these records that sample records, it's a genuine record that they sample. And all that it sounds like a remix and not a remake.
I bet Young Berg did the beat.
Hitmaker. Bro. It's not, and I understand you got to loop it, but Pop Smoke, right? When you
ain't always got to loop it though.
You really don't. But Pop Smoke, when he sampled "My Whole Life Has Changed," right?
Right.
It sounded like a new record, and
Right.
not I'm freestyling over this record. When he sampled what was the other song he sampled on there that was popular?
I
Light
know what you're
Skin,
talking about.
Tad, the player song.
Right.
He sampled that, Cheers to You, but it didn't sound like a remix. Or him rapping over the beat. It sounded like he made a completely new song.
Right.
So the sampling is not good because now they're relying on old hits to try to make new hits, which isn't a problem, but you got to do it correctly. Like don't remix it. Right. I don't want to hear you rap over the beat. I want to hear you make a new record that makes me reminisce about that record and be like, oh, okay, bet. Like how City Girls did Make Good Love with Usher.
Right.
They sampled Lathan, I Can Creek You In Them. Like it sounded like a new record. You know, you get what I'm saying.
Nah, that record was hot too.
Yeah, it was.
That Good Loving. Mr. Hanky made that beat, I think.
Oh, for real? Dope. Shout out to Torrance Knight.
I know he made Twerkulator. I think he made that one too, though.
Yeah, same old concepts, all about streaming. That is right. That's what
I'm telling you.
And
it's killing hip hop.
And the thing is, they always I be trying to make sure I'm not one of them old heads, because I mean we're still young, but I don't want to be like, oh, the old school is better. Nothing touching the old school. But the thing is, somebody said this other day. I think it was what's his name? Not Danny Brown. Larry June said this.
Okay.
He said, if the new niggas talking about they're better and we're old, why y'all still wearing Jordans and not LeBrons? Why are y'all still sampling the 90s records and not making your own stuff? He made a lot of points. Why are y'all still trying to do retro stuff that we did or we grew up to? Because honestly, it's supposed to be changing each time.
Right.
Jordan is classic, but bro, he said LeBron James got more comfortable shoes than the Jays. Why are y'all still doing that? So it's a lot of factors I feel like that play into it. And I think that speaking up about it, we shouldn't be condemned about it. It's about making it better, because I don't mind new artists coming in making it better, because that's what 50 Cent did. When DMX came out, he did the same thing with Ludacris, T.I. So many people then came out. And another thing, everybody sounds the same. Like you got dudes from the West Coast, Canada, from New England, and
Mexico.
everybody.
I heard some music the other day. I'm not gonna call the artist's name. He used to be signing for real though, but he putting out music now. You would swear he a Mexican little baby.
Wow. And you say he was signing for real?
He was signing for real dropping.
Oh, but he wasn't signed to the Neptunes though. He was like Star Trek. He was signing for real. He was
signed directly to Pharrell.
Got you. Okay.
He live in Atlanta.
Okay. But yeah, man, I think the overall thing is, I told you, it's not going to change. I thought it was going to be next year maybe, but I don't even see it being next year.
Nah.
There's a solid reasoning as to why. Just because she, like Ice Spice, has a lot of hot singles out right now, those hot singles aren't topping the country.
Nah, they're not.
That's how we dominate as a hip hop culture. Now, thing is, what's going to happen? Hip hop may, if we continue this, we'll end up going back underground and not at the forefront anymore, because there's no diversity in rap anymore, rap music. So, you know, like that's the only thing I can think of that's different.
I don't know if the labels will let us go back underground. They make too much money off it now. See what I'm saying?
They do, but they also make money off of country, Afro beats.
Yeah, but they make money off rap too, though.
Yeah, they do, but you can
everybody make money off rap except the rapper.
You can still go underground and still make your money though.
Not for real.
Over time, yes.
Bro,
yes,
you think Black Thought make as much money as Moneybagg Yo in a year?
He don't, but what if Moneybagg Yo isn't even selling? What money are you making?
Show money. Club appearances.
If they got 360
streaming.
That's the streaming really ain't a lot of money, man.
Bro, it's a lot of money to the label. It's not a lot of money to the artists.
They are on strike right now because the record labels took a hit too. See, this is the thing. People don't understand that the record labels took a hit. That's the whole reason they came up with 360, because records stopped selling before streaming. And now I don't think it's about making too much money. I think it's desperation. Because if it was about making money, they would concentrate about how about try to make an artist sell 10 million versus getting 1 million streams. You see what I'm saying?
Well, so in my opinion, instead of trying to make one artist sell 10 million, they're trying to make 10 artists sell 1 million.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they're trying to make 15 artists sell 150,000.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Because it's all adding up for them.
Yeah. If they got a lot of trash artists, they're focused on doing it with the quantity more than the quality. So
they're taking the Gucci Man approach.
There you go.
The Gucci Man. It works.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, those are our thoughts. Let us know in the comments what you think. Again, I think
hip hop is not dead, bro. Conway just dropped.
It's not dead, but it's trash as a whole. As a whole. Now, speaking of new albums that just came out, Killer Mike. A lot of people, of course, called it the album of the year. Now, PM, I listened to the album. Dope album. Great production. Lyricism, all that in a bag of chips. I even got one of my favorite songs on there is the one with Andre 3 Stacks and Future. Dope collaboration.
Scientific, what is it called?
Scientists and engineers.
Yeah.
Dope record through and through. You could listen to it all the way through. This is my thing though. Are we saying that because nothing else dropped this year that was worthy of being mentioned album of the year? Or are we saying this from the aspect of this was dope as hell, and like this was an all-around great album that could be a classic? I just want to, because it's interesting, because my thing is this. What's his name? Kendrick Lamar made a song talking about some y'all don't care about hip-hop because if you did, Killer Mike could be platinum. He said that on To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm paraphrasing what he said.
I remember.
But yeah, Charlamagne, when Killer Mike was on The Breakfast Club just recently, Charlamagne was like, Killer Mike been in my top 5, whatever. Killer Mike is a dope artist, but my thing is he a hit maker?
Top 5 is a reach, but go ahead.
Definitely a reach. But is he getting the praise right now simply because nothing else is out? Because if it's a lot of trash out and I put something that's worth listening to, and it ain't just Killer, I'm not trying to single Killer Mike out. This has been happening recently. Like
with Griselda,
and you just be like, oh snap, this Benny the Butcher, man. This is this classic. This remind me. I'm like, yeah, you're saying that because it reminds you of what you're used to listening to. If I give you a saltine cracker or a Ritz cracker after you hadn't ate in 3 weeks, you're gonna swear that it's a steak, filet mignon. So that's what I'm trying to ask. I'm not trying to shame Killer Mike or make him look bad, because I do think it's a dope album, but I also know ain't shit dropped this year to where it was like contenders to even contend with that. And we're happy. Yeah, and I ain't even listened. To be fair, I haven't listened to Conway. But yeah. But what do you think about that?
So I'm sitting there trying to think what else of quality dropped this year. Because it's hard to argue with your argument when I can't think of nothing else of quality that was dropped this year. Like I said, besides maybe Conway the Machine, besides maybe I really can't even think of nobody else that dropped that's like on that like bar lord level. Like a bunch of people dropped, but
it hasn't. And I'm talking about
you talking about like NLE Chopper, respectfully.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He got a hit on there, but like bar for bar, like come on, man, you wouldn't even put NLE Chopper and Killer Mike in the same conversation.
Right. Now, an artist like Lil Baby could have album of the year. He could,
He didn't drop though.
Yeah, he did. He hasn't. But my thing is, compared to if it's anything like his last one, which was blah, I ain't gonna say it was trash, but it was just the same. I told you I was listening. I was like, bro, this is the same song. Yeah. It's at a point now where I can listen to his song and by the beat, I can tell how he's finna rap on there.
Yeah,
I hate that. So,
Gunna album was straight.
It's straight though, but it's straight. That's it. Killer Mike had a well-produced album.
I can see that. It's kind of the same way we felt last year about Nas's album though. Like it was really good, but what are we comparing it to anyway? So like when you like you said, if you comparing a saltine cracker to starvation, or you know what I'm saying, Vienna sausage to bologna, and then you all of a sudden get a steak, of course you're gonna think the steak is better because you don't have anything to compare it to.
Well, the only thing I guess what I was comparing the Nas stuff to was his previous albums.
Right.
Because it wasn't nobody else. I mean, that's why I said by default it was my album of the year, but it wasn't like it was any competition out there. It's just that compared to Nas's catalog, those albums were dope as hell with Hit Boy.
I think for one, Killer Mike put out a really dope album. I like it way better than the stuff he puts out when he's in Run the Jewels personally.
Yeah.
I like him by himself a lot more. And
why is that?
I don't know, man. His flow is just better to me. Like the production is better to me when he by himself. I don't know. He just put out better music by himself to me.
Okay, because the white dude, does he rap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but they make like alternative raps. Music, right? Or
no, I mean they do alternative rap, but he does rap as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard now one of their songs.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna hear it if you don't go listen to it.
Yeah,
they got a big following, but
I know.
Back to the subject. Yeah, they got a big following, but I don't know why, but they do. But back to the subject. I think yes and no. I think he put out a really dope album, and I think there's nothing to compare it to. So besides Conway, so that's why people are saying he got the album of the year.
Yeah, and I think, and shout out to one of my frat brother. Shout out my frat brother. He said it because I gave Killer Mike a shout out, but I wasn't saying album of the year because there's nothing to compare it to, and it'll be a default. Like last year, I could have off rip said this Nas album is the album of the year, but I'm like, no, I ain't finna do that. Like that would have had to been a thing. Jay-Z didn't drop, Jeezy dropped some.
Right.
You know,
some people that can compete lyrically.
Yeah, I'm not finna
go and productionally too.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, by default, from what we're used to hearing, you could say Killer Mike album of the year. I know it ain't gonna sell that much as people talk about it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be the #1 rap album, I think. Well, I don't know because he dropped the same week as Gunna. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, to see, because Gunna had no promo, no nothing.
But people was listening to Gunna album though, bro. I saw a lot of people talking about it.
They were, but you know the reason why for the most part.
Yeah, I mean the controversy, but
yeah, you want to hear what he gonna say?
That controversy sales. That's a good thing for YSL, the label, and I think he signed the 300 too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, y'all let us know in the comments what you think about Killer Mike's album. Did you like it?
I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this: I don't think I'm just gonna be running around playing it. Like
I think it's road trip music.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah, but clean the house music. It's like a whole listen to the whole album type of album.
Absolutely. So shout out to Killer Mike for keeping the culture thriving. Now, let's talk about your boy, man. Boosie. Boosie is in trouble. Now, thing is, I made a video. Shout out to everybody who watched it, and I talked about Boosie, his situation. The feds. Now, I made a video before I found out that the feds arrested him because of the IG live footage. Mm-hmm. That was all speculation about him being on that chopper. Allegedly.
Yeah, we don't want to sue.
Right. So thing is, the feds allegedly catched him, and this footage with him with it looks like a pistol.
Right.
A 9mm handgun in his back pocket, not his back pocket, but on his waist.
Yeah.
So thing is, man, it's not looking good for him. It's really not looking good for him. And the biggest thing that I've been seeing is criticism for Boosie. Bro, like, you got to move better than that. You got to move better than that. You don't. And the other thing is getting on Math Hoffa saying the stuff that he said. Saying that, yeah. See, I told you that. I was like, bro, he wasn't speaking as in a theoretically speaking situation. Math Hoffa asked him, what do you do if you get pulled over with guns? He said, well, that didn't happen plenty of times. We let the young niggas do it, and they'll take the charge, even though they my gun. He didn't put it.
Even though they my guns.
He didn't say my guns, but he put it. He didn't speak hypothetically. He said this has happened before, which is stupid. Why would you feel comfortable saying that on a public platform?
Because the guns belong to the young dudes. That's what I'm telling you. They not his guns. Bro. Them guns in them cars not his. They belong to the young dude riding in the car.
But he just said, okay, PM. All right. Okay. Okay. His lawyer can fight that, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, bro. I told you that.
No, absolutely.
That's substantial, bro. That don't mean nothing, man. You got it. That's not hey, look, you remember before we found out that they arrested him because they saw the gun in his back pocket, according to TMZ. We was talking about this, and I said, bro, excuse me. I said, bro, they have to have more than that. I said, there's no way they arrested him based off saying stuff like that. The same day this video came out with him in the Bay Area with what looks like to be a gun in his back pocket. It
right.
could have been a beeper though.
Yeah. Well, well,
it could have. You don't know, man. Hey, man, you don't know. It could have been a beeper. My mom and daddy still got a house phone, bro. Boosie might still got a beeper.
Okay, if your mom and dad have a house phone, Boosie could still have a beeper. Well, look, I'll say I wasn't saying that that's primarily what they locked him up for. I was saying that it was stupid for him to say that, and I was wondering because everybody was like speculating like what happened. So since that came out and it's footage with him with what appears to not be a beeper, that's going to be tough because he's already a convicted felon, and I think
I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Maybe it was the same lighter that Ja Morant had. Maybe Ja Morant let Boosie hold his lighter. See?
You on to something, bro. You on to something. I like that you put that out there. Maybe because guess what? Ja Morant claimed.
I had no idea you was going to this next.
Ja Morant, perfect transition.
Right.
Says that was not a real gun. That was actually a lighter, a candle lighter. He did a demonstration of it on what was that, a live or a video, something like that?
I think it was on. I think he just posted a video in his story.
Right, and he was lighting up candles with the gun that he allegedly, what people allegedly thought it was a real gun.
Right.
Ja Morant, stop making this worse, bro.
Just let it go, bro.
Let it go. Let it go.
Take your 25 days, put your head down. 25 games, put your head down, come back and ball. Just go to the lab, work out, come back and ball. That's the only thing you need to do, bro.
Right. It's because you could have said this at a time when you needed to say it, but you owned up to it. Now you're trying to save face, and you look more ridiculous now than you did with the gun. Because I'm bro, just say, hey man, I messed up. Like you said, the 25 games, and it's a wrap. But you really making videos, lighting up candles with the gun, like. And I'm not sure if his team is telling him to do that or what, bro.
No, they can't be. If his PR team telling him to do that, he need to fire him.
Right. Give it up, bro. You're making it worse because now you look like a clown.
Right.
See, before that, we were thinking, man, he got so much potential. What he did was stupid. We're not going to call him stupid, but his actions are stupid. But now you're looking like, because now you're making us out to be fools.
Right.
Come on, bro.
It look bad.
Yeah, very bad. Very bad. Now, this is another thing that I wanted to touch on, PM. The Sukihana accepting YK Osiris, because we didn't have you on the show where I talked about, because I made a different video addressing it, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because I wanted to make sure that I took time with this because it's very sensitive. You know the climate that we in.
Right, for sure.
So the video that I made, I was talking about sexual liberation.
Okay.
And the era that we're in right now, you know, a lot of women are sexually liberated, meaning that they'll post, if they want to post naked pictures, half naked pictures, OnlyFans, talk about this stuff in music, podcasts, sex. And they feel like, hey, the chains are off. You got Janelle Monáe showing her breasts, which I love. Speaking of which, did you see her Breakfast Club interview?
I saw it.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so you got all the sexual liberation stuff. So my question was, and I was treading lightly, can sexual liberation lead to weirdos? Because what YK Osiris did was weirdo shit. Now, shout out to everybody who watched the video. It was quite a few females really giving great responses to what I said. They said it was very precise. They said they've unsubscribed from other channels because they've been trying to victim blame Sukihana.
Yeah. Sukihana didn't do nothing wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And what I said was that she didn't do nothing wrong, but the fact that she does talk about sex in a certain type of manner, not on just her music, because that could be looked at as entertainment.
Right.
But on podcasts, she be challenging men, going back and forth talk. And then I played a clip of the video that led up to YK Osiris doing the weirdo stuff that he was doing. Mm-hmm. She was like, I'll turn you out, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so, she said that to him?
Yeah, she said it. She was singing and all that. Yeah, see, people, that's why I showed it on the show. Mm-hmm. And I want to people to get a perspective of what led to it.
So he didn't just because I thought they was just at a barbecue and he just walked up and tried to stick his tongue down our throat.
Nah, they were at not a celebrity basketball game. They were at some basketball thing.
Right.
And then it was Lil Duval, whatever. The celebs were at looked like a press conference type of setup or whatever, right? A panel. And then they started talking crazy, freaky to each other like Sukihana does. And he started going.
Her and YK.
And he started going too far. He put his hands on her, kissed her, and kept forcibly trying to do it. And it looked like Lil Duval was looking like, all right, like, it was getting crazy. So my whole thing was, I'm like, women, you are free to do sexual liberation. You can do whatever you want to do. However, that type of energy can attract weirdos like that. Now, the thing is also this, PM, you could attract weirdos anyway. Like, weirdos are going to be weirdos. Like, you could be a church woman. Like, you can have a full dress on, everything. You could look like a nun.
Right.
And you still can have weirdos come up to you because there are a lot of weirdo dudes out here. However, it doesn't help at all if you create a certain type of energy about yourself. If we know you as Suki with the good coochie. Because to a weirdo, he going to be looking like, man, I want to see what that's about. Right. I ain't even got to have a formal conversation with her. I could just approach her, automatically talk about sex on some freaky stuff, put my hands on her, and then you create this space for yourself, and then you got to look at yourself and be like, man, like, do I want to attract that type of energy for a man to feel like he can just put his damn hands on me? So what you think about that?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. For one, no man can ever put a woman. I mean, no man should ever put his hands on a woman, regardless of how she talks, acts, dresses. Like I always say, women should be able to walk around butt naked, and if they don't want you to touch them, they don't want you to touch them.
Absolutely.
Whether it's kissing, holding their hands, rubbing on them, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And as a man, not only do we have to respect that, but in my opinion, we have to protect those that chooses to be like that. Now, would I want my daughter to act like that, or my wife, or my girl, or niece, or anybody I love? Hell no. Hell no.
You're right, because
but it doesn't excuse YK's behavior.
It doesn't, and I would tell them, like, I can't be there with you to protect you at all times. So thing is, you shouldn't wear this type of thing, or you shouldn't. Not even about wearing the sexual talk that she does. She said, "I want to fuck Umar." She's literally said that he can get this make this pussy conscious or whatever. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like an average, if it's not average dude, but if it's a weirdo listening to that, he gonna be turned on to feel like, oh, okay, I can get her on site.
I can get that easily.
Yeah. So you got to be very, very careful with stuff like that. So
I think sometimes we as men hear women say that type of stuff, and we ignore the steps in between to get to that point, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like our animalistic side comes out, and it causes us to just be like, oh, I could just walk up on there and do this. I could just walk up on there and do that.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's never an excuse for any of that. But I also think that women have to understand that should they be able to walk around naked and act any kind of way and nothing happens? Yes, they should. But I should also be able to go in a predominantly white neighborhood and not get followed by the police. Absolutely. But we both know that's just not the world we live in.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, y'all let us know in the comments what you think about that. We're gonna move on to the next topic right here.
Perfect world. That was good.
Yeah. So Offset and Quavo, I just want to give a shout out to them. They reunited. Looks like they reconciled. But this is what I want to say. I knew that this was going to happen. Like, come on, man. Like a lot of that stuff, bro. They're not blood family, but they are family. Yeah, they family at the end of the day, man. You've seen it happen in groups all the time. Wu-Tang be cussing each other out. Bone be cussing each other out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure Goody Mob, other groups do it too. 3 6 Mafia. Yeah, like Juicy J and DJ Paul literally just have a business relationship now. I don't think they friends at all.
YG and DJ Mustard.
Yeah, I mean,
YG said him and Mustard get into fist fights.
Yeah, bro. Like, if they family, stuff like that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. What I would do and be very careful of, because this happened with Master P and C Murder. If you see brothers or family get into it, you better not
with Birdman and Lil Wayne too. Remember?
Exactly. Don't choose sides, because they're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember who was amping them up to be against each other. They're gonna reconcile at the end of the day, especially if they're blood, if they're blood family. So you shouldn't pick sides. You should stay neutral if you're cool with both of them, because something like this happened. They celebrated Takeoff's birthday. RIP to Takeoff, man. I still can't get over that murder. But yeah, man. Shout out to them. They look like they reconciled, and I don't know if it was just a temporary thing because they were there or whatever, but I'm glad they showed people that they family at the end of the day, So
sure.
Shout out to them. Now,
I love to see it.
Yeah, love to see that for sure. Now let's talk about the YNW Melly trial. Recently, it was revealed, PM, that they did away with some evidence.
Yeah, they suppressed a bunch of evidence.
And he gave his lawyer the fist bump.
He was smiling ear to ear, boy.
Yeah, ear to ear. He been looking very unbothered in the footage I've been seeing too.
I mean, he definitely don't look like a nigga on trial for double murder, man.
Bruh, that dude, man, like the stuff that, take your time, everybody, and look over the case, but there is some people who feel like he could possibly get off of this. Like,
I ain't been watching it as closely as I did like important cases like Trayvon Martin or nothing like that. But I've been in and out on it. He gonna beat this charge, bro.
You think so?
He gonna beat them charges. All their evidence is substantial. Like, they don't have anything concrete. They don't have a gun. They don't have fingerprints on him and the victim. They got like such and such was found dead at 8:30. At 8:33, he texts such and such, I did that. At 8:35, he called such and such and said, I need a ride. At 8:45, his phone was pinged in the area. All that is substantial, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
All that is none of that is concrete, bro. And this is what I keep telling people. When people take shit to trial, this is all you got to remember. All you need is one person on that jury to believe you didn't do it, and you coming home. Just one. They got to make all 12 of them believe you did.
And see, the important thing, and I thought you were going to say that, but if you're accused of something, it's not your job to convince them that you didn't do it.
No,
it's their job to convince the jury and everybody that you did it, that you did do it. So that's the thing. It's like you got to come up with the evidence. You got to come up with all that, and that costs money. That costs resources,
time.
You
got to get people to cooperate.
Absolutely.
Like I tell people, in most cases, and I don't advocate for crime at all, but if you're going to do a crime, do it by yourself. Because at the end of the day, most cases get convicted because people tattletale.
Yeah, that's
people snitch. When you do a crime by yourself like this and don't tell on yourself, it's hard for them to convict you, bro.
Yeah.
They got to have just evidence. And the thing about that is, I don't know if people know, a lot of people don't know how legal proceedings go, but at the beginning of the case, they have what's called, God, I could have told you the word if I wasn't thinking about it. But it's where both sides have to present their evidence. So you know if they're going to convict you or not up front.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning, it's a word for it. God, I can't believe I can't remember the word.
If y'all, in the comments, let us know.
Yeah, it's a word for it though. But at the beginning of it, they have to show this. The prosecution has to show their evidence, and the defense have to show their evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a word for it. I can't remember what the word is right now. But yeah, so you know if they're gonna convict you or not.
That's why he been smiling from
because I know people that took shit to trial and they be like, bro, trust me, I'm coming home.
Yeah. Tory Lanez thought the same thing, and look what happened.
Yeah, Tory Lanez was stupid though.
Yeah, he was.
Tory Lanez had a whole witness against him.
He did, and then you have to, like, if you didn't shot a woman or got accused, that you really got to convince them that you didn't do it. Like in that case, he had to convince that he didn't do it.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she didn't take him to trial.
The justice system did.
Right.
The state of California took him to trial.
Right. It wasn't her.
Yeah.
She didn't come out and do that. So he really had to prove that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But in the situations like that, man, like R. Kelly, for example, they just dropped I think one of his trials, I forgot if it was in Chicago or Minnesota. I think it was the Minnesota
Right.
thing. And the reason is it's like, man, people don't understand. It costs money, time, resources to have a trial, and they just like, bro, he already locked up.
That's why they try to make you plea out.
Yeah,
it's easier for them. They don't want to go to trial.
Nah, because then that costs the city money, taxpayers, all that.
State
so they
money,
like
the county money, all that costs money.
That's why they were so mad at Juicy Smouye for what he did, because he cost the city money.
That's why he did jail time, because he cost the city money. I read somewhere where they said if he would have just admitted that he staged it, they would have gave him a fine and he could have went on about his day.
Yep. But he doubled down on it, so they tried to make an example.
I mean, he's gay Tupac, bro. Like,
right. Thug life. I remember that joke was so crazy when he was saying that, man.
That man said, I'm the gay Tupac.
That was crazy. I've been watching the Art of Dialogue, Tupac's father, biological father. I've been watching those. I've been glued. When y'all get a chance, go to the Art of Dialogue. His name is Billy Garland. That's Tupac's blood actual father.
Okay.
So though it's to hear his side and his perspective is real good. So when y'all get a chance, he gives you a lot of information about Pac and spending time with Pac and all the other stuff. So when y'all get a chance, go check that out.
Man.
All right, so this next segment of the show, we're talking about the best of. We're talking about groups and crews since Billboard has came out and talked about the best groups in hip hop. So first, we're going to talk about who we think the best member of NWA is or was.
You're going to disagree, but I got to go with him.
All right, who you say?
Look, I know he didn't write his own raps. I know this.
You talking about him?
Eazy-E, bro.
Easy mother.
Eazy-E was the best member of NWA. I know. Hip hop purists, I know. He didn't write his own raps.
Right.
Even in the 1990s, he punched his bars in. I know.
Right.
He was the best out of the group, bro. He was the best and biggest, in my opinion.
He was the image of NWA. NWA, none of them were street niggas.
No.
None of them were. Ice Cube was political. He was prolific.
Right.
MC Ren, they were from the hood.
Right.
But they weren't street bangers.
No. Eazy-E was a certified gangster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That could fight. That had a ton of street cred. Right. He was a Crip. And he funded NWA. And that's the reasoning why NWA was able to have the image, because he was a credible. All you need is like one credible person.
Oh, that's it.
And NWA was a team. It was, shout out to DJ Yella. I had him on the show. But with NWA, they had a producer, Dre, who rapped, and he sounded good. But you had Ice Cube. Now, of course, MC Ren and Ice Cube, some of the dopest MCs to ever touch the mic.
I think Ice Cube is the best rapper.
Yeah. Rapper-wise, Ice Cube. So after him, I would say MC Ren, but Easy was, everybody waited for Eazy-E's part.
Right.
And they gave,
because he was the best member.
Yeah, and I mean his sound, the way he got on tracks, it didn't sound like he just started rapping. It sounded like, if you wouldn't have known, you would have thought that he wrote all his stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I agree that Eazy-E was that. We wouldn't have NWA, of course, if it weren't for Eazy-E.
I thought you was gonna disagree because I know you're a hip hop purist.
I'm a hip hop purist.
I just knew you was gonna go Cube.
No, I wanted to. I thought long and hard, but I'm just like, bro, like in the 80s, we were born in the 80s, but
yeah,
if Eazy-E put out an album and Ice Cube put out an album, I would have bought an Eazy-E album.
Definitely.
Because he was the star. That's why when NWA came out, they put out Eazy-E's album first.
Right.
Eazy Does It, because they knew he was the image. Then they put out Straight Outta Compton.
Right.
So it's a lot of people, the hip hop purists will say Ice Cube, but who had a hit record at that time, Eazy or Ice Cube? Eazy-E did, even though Ice Cube was providing the lyrics. So I got to give him that. Now, this is going to be funny. I've been waiting to do this with you. The best member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang. I know I'm doing it wrong, but Wu-Tang. Or is it Wu-Tang?
Nice.
Is this? Is that?
Yeah.
That
like
okay.
This.
Oh, like this. Okay. How do you know that?
Because I know the stuff. They just not good.
Who is the best member of the Wu-Tang Clan if you had to pick him?
Any, many, mighty, mo.
He's so wrong, man.
Nah, man. In my opinion, Method Man. But I mean, he's the only member of Wu-Tang that I actually like.
So you didn't like nobody? You don't like Ghostface? You don't like Raekwon? You
I
don't
like
like
one of Ghostface albums.
which one?
Fish
Scale?
No. Was it
Iron Man?
No, was it only? No, I like their album together. Only Built for Cuban Links. That's their album together, right?
It was Raekwon's album, but he was a part of it.
He was on a lot of.
He co-starred.
All right, cool. He did what Jay-Z and
Jay Electronica did, pretty much.
I like that album.
Okay, so only Built for Cuban Links.
Yeah.
So you like that?
Yeah.
If you ask me, and when I say best member, you got to think about not just who's the dopest lyrically, but I think like overall.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to give it to Method Man if you're talking about the overall star. Now, the best rapper, in my opinion, if I had to pick, I would say, damn, Ghostface, I guess.
Okay.
Because Ghostface's energy. Now, I love Jizza. I love the RZA. You God, shout out to you, Master Killer. All of them are dope MCs lyrically.
Right.
But I think
ODB.
And I love ODB. He would be the second if it wasn't for Method Man. Don't you agree? I mean, as far as commercialized, like
as far as the biggest, maybe not best. I can't give him that best title.
No, not best. Yeah. But it's so hard to really, because everybody has their own distinctive type of sound. But when they come together, it's like Voltron. But I mean, of course, on paper, you would say Method Man.
Right.
But I think that if it wasn't Method Man, I think like who I would buy an album from, I would buy an album from Ghostface.
Okay.
Versus the other members. But
yeah, I just would buy a sandwich. You remember that on Temptations when they was like, if you only had $1 left, would you buy this album or a sandwich? Yeah, I'm gonna take a sandwich.
Did you not like 36 Chambers?
Yeah, I literally rather ride in silence than listen to 36 Chambers. It's great like that.
36 Chambers is a classic.
I'll take your word for it.
I love 36 Chambers.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it is. Have you ever listened to it?
Once,
and you just like you rather get the sandwich.
I'm just not. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay, fair enough. Get it. Fair enough. All right. So let's move on. Best artist on No Limit Records.
Ever?
Yeah. I say ever.
Easy.
Who you say?
Mystical.
Okay, that's mine too. I give it to Mystical. Overall, you talking about presence, like Michael, like delivery, distinctive. He was the most talented on No Limit. Showmanship.
Could actually rap. Because a lot of them niggas on No Limit couldn't rap, bro.
Who couldn't? And you better not say
it'd be easier for me to name who could rap.
So Fiend couldn't rap?
Fiend.
He could. Mia X couldn't rap?
Could, yes.
C Murder couldn't rap?
No.
C Murder could rap, bro.
No.
Yes, he could.
No.
Yes, he could.
Fiend, Mia X, Mac.
Mac could definitely rap.
Mr. Because I don't really count Snoop.
Why you don't count Snoop?
Because
I get it.
Yeah, the stuff he put out on No Limit wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
On, Name an iconic song that he put out on No Limit.
He was on a couple of iconic.
I'm not talking about the songs he was on. I said name an iconic song Snoop put out on No Limit.
Bitch, please.
I never even heard of it.
Yes, you had, bro. Yes, you have. Bitch, please. You don't want to step to me. When they dog on there, doom, 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 doom. You know what I'm talking about, right?
What? It was all right.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
I know what you're talking about, but it was all right.
All right. What's Lay Low?
Okay, I give you that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot that came out on No Limit. Yeah. Because it sounded so good. I forgot it came out on No Limit.
That's not what you mean. This is what you mean. When Snoop first got on there, he did nothing but Beats by the Pound production, and that didn't fit him.
It was awful.
Now later,
down for my niggas.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Yeah, because that was on him and C Murder's album.
Yeah.
But after his first album, he started like Master P started letting him work on more West Coast. Dr. Dre did Lay Low. I want to say Dr. Dre may have done Bitch Please, but I'm not sure because Exhibit was on there. But
Him on Corrupt.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not. Yeah, I agree. Like Snoop, of course, you could say.
Yeah, so that's why I don't even count him. Like, it's Snoop.
Yeah, I would say Mystical. If you had a second pick, who would you pick?
Mac,
but okay,
for
you, all right. I say outside of Mystical. If you talking about if I'm going to the CD store, record store back in the days, and I'm getting an album, I would buy Master P album over everybody else's. Because Master P put his bodies of work were better than a lot of everybody else. Like,
yeah, but it wasn't better than Mac's though.
I like Master P's albums better than Mac albums. Master P had hit records on his albums.
Yeah, Mac could actually rap.
No, he could actually rap, but I'm saying what No Limit album was better than Ghetto D?
I mean, Mystical albums, but I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying though.
Yeah. Outside of Mystical's albums, none.
Yeah, but I even Ghetto D is my favorite No Limit album ever.
Nah,
it had the biggest songs from No Limit ever on there.
Shell Shocked is my favorite No Limit album ever.
Shell Shock.
That's Mac album.
Yeah, Mac album. Yeah. And then, what about World War III? You ain't like that album?
It was all right.
It was all right. Okay.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's when he was already in trouble. So
it was right before.
Yeah. Well, I think he was already in trouble. He just wasn't arrested yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I think he was just like, "All right, look, we need to put something together because we need to get some money coming in."
That album was barely promoted, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like I said, first for me, all around was Mystical.
It gotta be Mystical.
Yeah. Secondly, like I said, like as far as what album I would buy Master P album because Master P always had the best of the best on there. For some reason, his albums outshine a lot of the No Limit albums
because he promoted it the most. You know why?
But I mean, listening through it, you know, it was pretty good. So anyway, but yeah,
don't get me started.
Master P put out dope projects on the in the 90s of No Limit. Like
he had some dope songs.
So you don't think Ghetto D was a classic?
No, classic?
Yes.
Come on, Jay.
Ghetto Dope was a classic.
Classic, bro.
Yes.
Nah.
You could play that.
So hold on. So you would put Ghetto Dope up against Illmatic?
That's not. Yeah, I mean in the classic category.
You put Ghetto Dope up against East 1999.
I'll put it up. I'm not saying it's
you
better.
Put Ghetto Dope up against Reasonable Doubt.
I would put it there. I'm not against.
Put Ghetto Dope up against
you're saying against.
You put Ghetto Dope up against Doggy Style.
You're saying against.
You put Ghetto Dope up against.
Listen to what you're saying. You're saying against, brother. You're saying against. I'm
putting them classics.
No. You can put them up there with the classics, not against.
No, you can't. That album isn't as good as not one album I just named.
That album through and through was a dope.
That album ain't as good as Ludacris' album, the one with Get Your Roll On. And you know how I feel about Ludacris music.
You mean Roll Out, not Get Your Roll On.
Yeah. Roll Out.
You think about
better than the Hot Boys album, Get Your Roll On it either.
That was Big Timers, Get Your Roll On.
Same thing.
Man, so you think that Ghetto Dope wasn't better than a Big Timers album?
No. Better than the Big Timers albums? No.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Are you? Hey, don't make me ask you. Don't make me ask you.
Go ahead.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy, bro? Do you really think Ghetto Dope was better than the Big Timers album?
Yes. What are you talking about? Ghetto Dope is one of the dopest No Limit albums that came out.
Has it been an hour yet, man? It's time to wrap this up because you drunk.
No, you tripping.
That water. Hey, you got to stop getting drunk off that water over there.
Bourbons and Lex, Captain Kurt, After Dollars No Cents. Man, you ain't
You got to stop getting drunk off that water.
Still Fly? You ain't listen to the album.
Still Fly?
Bro, so you mean to tell me a Big Timer album is classic?
Yes.
Which one?
Hey, you tripping right now, bro.
A Big Timers album is classic.
It's more classic than Ghetto Dope.
No. I asked you if it's classic.
I answered my question the way I'm answering.
No. Juvenile 400 Degrees is classic.
Of course.
Big Timers did not put out no classic album, bro.
I don't know, man.
Not a classic.
It's better than Ghetto Dope.
Man, oh my God. Y'all in the comments, please let him know Or let us know if I'm ghetto dope,
you
bro.
Smoking on ghetto dope. If you think ghetto dope was classic,
you tripping. Ghetto dope was a classic album. You tripping?
I thought you said it was endo. Smell like outdoor.
You tripping, bro. You tripping hard. Anyway, y'all, that's been this week's episode of Red's View.
This nigga said ghetto dope is a classic.
Ghetto dope is a classic, bro. It is. You said a Big Timers album was a classic album. In New Orleans. In New Orleans.
See, I know what it is.
What is it?
You still mad that New Orleans took Mardi Gras and made it better. That's what the problem is. See, I see what the problem is right now. You mad New Orleans took Mardi Gras and made it better. So now you be hating on anything from it makes sense now.
But I call Ghetto Dope a classic album, and that's New Orleans.
He made that album in the bank.
He ain't make it. Get out. Nah, I ain't gonna let you do that. No, he did not. No, he did not. No.
He got famous in California, bro.
You really did that. I ain't gonna. No, we're not gonna do that. No. Beats by the pound is what broke.
Shit, man. Nah.
Beats. that Louisiana Beats by the pound is really what broke him.
It is. I'm just playing. Playing.
Anyway, shout out to Beats by the pound all the way. I've been trying to get them an interview with them on here. But yeah, man, that's been this week's episode of Red's View. Y'all make sure that y'all do us a favor, hit that like button, the thumbs up button. React to it, especially if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure that you share it. Do us a favor, hit that share button right now if you're watching, so it can linger on and other people can see it. Subscribe, youtube.com/RedsView. Make sure that you do that. Subscribe. Try saying that 5 times. I can't stress that long enough. Also, make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. PM, where do we follow you?
You know the vibes, ladies and gentlemen, at THEE DJPM. That's at the DJPM, all social media.
And you can see it right there. You follow me at JAYR3D, at JAYR3D on all social media platforms. So you can see all of our clips, our back and forth, all that stuff. Even when we post selfies or whatever, you can check it out. It is what it is. Be like this.
I ain't posted a selfie in so long, dog.
Yeah, me neither. Shout out to also Ace Hood and Mooski. They was at the W when I spent there.
Oh, was that?
Yeah. The week before last, so it was a good vibe.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was those two. They was in there, at the same time. So shout out to, and I just want to say I respect Ace Hood's lady, because you remember a couple of years ago she gifted him his streams in a plaque. She put it together, man, and they real cool, man. Like, it's nothing fake about that relationship, man. They together, like they real cool people. So shout out to that.
Dope. Shout out to Ace Hood.
Ace Hood for sure. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, that's been Red's View for today. This is J Red DJ PM. We're signing